Hi everybody, today we're going to review the Fenix 5S by Garmin. This is a sport watch. This is just the box that it comes in. I'm actually already wearing it. So I'm going to take this off here and we're going to talk about this watch. So this is the face I downloaded for it. It has a clock, my steps each day, my steps today, miles have gone, calories, the date, battery percentage, beats per minute, my elevation. So it has a wealth of information, sundown, temperature on my wrist, which I have to say is not the best thing ever since, obviously I run a little bit warmer than the room around me, and how many flights of stairs have gone up. So it has a light too, so you can see it very easily. It has if you can see the green flashing lights there, that's the heart rate sensor. I found it to be pretty accurate to the point where even at the doctor, they've checked my pulse and they've basically matched up exactly. Now, I have found that this number here does not update as often as it possibly could, but it's still pretty good. So overall, this is not a touch screen, so I could touch this all I want. It does not do anything. This is not the Sapphire model either, so if you don't see any scratches on it, I'm pretty rough with my watches. Almost all of them are scratched up. This one still does not have any scratches, so this glass is pretty tough even though it's not the Sapphire. Again, you saw the light. Then we have these buttons here which go up and down through your various settings. As you can tell, it's a little bit chilly here today. And you have it'll bring up your text messages on here. You can have it bring up emails. You can have it bring up some other things, and you set those in your settings on your app. No events, you can have it sync with your calendar. And then here's your compass and altimeter, and then you have a barometer here as well. How many steps, and this is a move bar on the bottom, so my goal is 9,000 steps. I've done 3,000. I haven't done much moving today really. And then there's this bar on the bottom here. By the way, this light you can also set how long it stays on for. Training status, I have not been doing much running because, well, it's been so cold out and it's been the holiday season. And then my heart rate, as you can see, it spiked at 102 and it was as low as 61, and then for a little bit I had it off while I was kind of doing some charging and cleaning. So that's it. So right now you can see it's at 37%. I have found this to easily last a week. No problem. Even with running, I've actually found it to last pretty well. So it does a lot of things here. And then on this side, this is where you go in to track what you're doing. Last thing I did is I went skiing and I had it track when I was skiing. And then I've done open water swimming, some pool swimming, mountain biking, hiking. So I've done a lot of these things. I haven't done any indoor track. And you can add and remove things off of here too by going down to the bottom here. Let's just go down here. And they have a few different other settings in here, but they have some things when you take them off, and you can add them or you can take them off. They end up on this little list on the bottom. I'm not sure how to fully remove them, but that is something you can do, I'm sure, if I really looked into it more. So now, with this, the other thing that I really liked about this, and I came from a Fitbit, so this is your back button here, is, actually, hold on, let me go into one more thing here. Let me just show you one thing. So when I come into this button, and let's say skiing, I click into it, and it's going to show me a wealth of information here, and it's going to get the GPS working, it's going to connect to my phone, and it's going to monitor my heart rate. So it's going to pull in all this information during your workout. Now, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go back. I'm not going to start that. And I'm going to show you what it tracks while you're doing a sport. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to bring over my phone. And right here at the top, I have the skiing. So this is one of my long ski trips here. And as you can see, it shows the time that I was skiing, the distance, and the calories burned. I don't know how accurate the calories are for skiing, because that really depends on if you're just going down the mountain or if you're going side to side a lot. But this shows, I was at Gore. I went up the lift, went down and around, and then went up the lift again, and then went down, or I should say I was at the top when I started. It went down, and then I went up the lift again. So with that, let's just pull in here. It shows you the average pace. It shows you the average, sorry, I'm having trouble reading this too because of the glare. I didn't think about that. Average speed, which was 9.8. Max speed was 27. So it shows you a wealth of information here. Your heart rate in here, your how well you're doing on your training, your elevation, gained and lost. So as you can tell, it's going up pretty high there, and then skiing a few thousand feet or I guess it was about 2,000 feet. Calories, and then it shows your temperature. Minimum temperature was 37. That was probably when I was on the lifts. And remember, that is on my watch underneath my coat. So it was a little bit chilly while I was skiing. So that's the information that you gain from this. And I've really found this to be helpful. And then again, you can click on this button right here and it brings up your laps. So it seemed to know, I think, when you're going up the lift and when you're not. So if you're moving up the hill at a steady rate, it sort of counted it, but it wasn't like counting it quite the same. And then you have, this is one thing I really like, is your stats right here. It shows you your speed at all the intervals, and then your heart rate, so you can see your heart rate jump around, and then your training effect, and then your elevation, which, as you can see, is dropping quite a bit. And then temperature. So I like the way all this information is presented. And then your heart rate zone. So it's showing you if you're in the good zones for your heart rate. As you can tell, I never really made it up to zone 4. I have when I run typically, but this is a little bit different with the fact that it's obviously not as I guess the skiing this time for me was not quite as good since I had my kids with me. I was going a lot slower than I normally would, so I wasn't really stressing myself out. So I'm very impressed with this application. I really like the way it works and how it tracks everything, and that's part of the reason why I got the Garmin over the Fitbit. Now, with that, I'm also going to say that this watch is completely waterproof. I've swam with it multiple times. You do have to set the pool length when you're doing that. I set it wrong the first time. It was set to an Olympic pool, and I wasn't, wasn't a quarter of that size, so it looked like I had swam, miles, it seemed like, and it was saying I burned, 8,000 calories because it was completely off. So you do have to set some things up, but I'm very impressed with the build quality. These snap bands, I haven't bought any other bands, but they're very convenient to be able to take off and put on. I didn't think that they would really work or hold that well. It does have a unique charger. I actually have that in my car. That's where I typically charge is when I get in my car. I'll driving somewhere for half an hour. I'll just take it off and plug it in. It's not like I'm really going anywhere. They have different faces you could download. So as you can see, like on the box here, it shows this face. I'm not a big fan of having these hands because they tend to always seem to be covering something like these numbers that I want to see more so than the hands. So that's why I went to a digital face like this. But I also, it does look a little bit nicer, I think, with the hands on it. And I will switch it if I'm going somewhere formal. I'll typically keep this on. This looks nice enough, which is one of the reasons why I got this as well, to be able to keep on and wear it out somewhere nice, like a nice steakhouse, or if you're going to a wedding or something like that. It doesn't look like a fitness tracker. It looks very elegant. There is a little bit of scuffing on this. I don't know if we can see it here. Yeah, right here. You can see there's a little bit of scuffing on this dial up top, but it's not bad. And I've had this now for 6 to 8 months, and it has held up pretty well. So I'm actually quite impressed with the build quality. The other fitness trackers I've had from Fitbit, unfortunately, they fell apart typically within 6 months, and I was calling them up and getting another one, and then they fell apart again within 6 months, and then I ended up buying a new one. And I did that twice before I realized I'm done with Fitbit for now. So now I will say there is one thing I don't like about the S, and the 5S I should say, and that is these bands are a little bit short. I mean, like when I put it on, let me just show you here. I'm going to put it down on the table here. Put this over. It just fits my wrist. I mean, this is meant for somebody a whole lot smaller than me. And, it really does. It's very tight on there. And I think they should have included a longer band, just something that was like about an inch longer or something like that. There's no reason to have it be that short. And they could have easily thrown that in for free instead of making it a purchase you have to make after the fact for like $30. That's kind of ridiculous in my book. So, but other than that, I do like it. I'm very happy with this purchase. I do wish it was a little bit cheaper than the $600 I think this cost. That's a lot in my book, and I'm hoping that this lasts for many years because of that price. But other than that, I would recommend this to other people. If you're a Apple fan and you compare it to the iWatch, the big thing is the battery life. The battery life on this thing is phenomenal. I know it doesn't have all the functionality, but I don't need a phone on my wrist. I just need a fitness tracker. So that is my review of this Garmin watch, and this is how it looks on my wrist. I don't have huge wrists by any means, but that's part of the reason why I got the 5S instead of the 5. But you know, I could have gone a little bigger if I really wanted to the 5 maybe, but I prefer having a smaller watch. So that's my review, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this, please click thumbs up and like my channel. Thank you.